It's a Miss Mickey production.
From the days of segregation to see it in the color, to the day we joined together and got along with each other. The Canetuck School was built in 1921. Give blessing, education was the destination across the nation, but mostly in the South. Rosenwald funded because of Washington's mouth. He was an advocate for black education. The school was open to the black population. Please join us as we see it in color this time today. We're seeing each other 24/7. We're always integrated. We dare not be intimidated. Please join us as we see it in color this time today. We're seeing each other 24/7. We're always integrated. We dare not be intimidated.
The Canetuck School was built in 1921 for black students who attended the school during segregation. The Rosenwald Fund supported the construction of the school to improve education in the black community. Communities worked in cooperation with school boards and the Rosenwald Fund to allow black children a chance at an education. Julius Rosenwald established the Rosenwald Fund because he was inspired by Booker T. Washington, the leader of the Tuskegee Institute and an advocate for black education. The Canetuck School in Pender County, North Carolina, was a triumph for the black community that had tried for over a decade to convince the school board to construct a school for their children. Please join us as we look through the window of time at the Canetuck School, one of over 5,000 Rosenwald schools built across the South.
I was 6 years old. I was born in 1916. So you started school at 5 years old or 6 years old?
Miss Lois Keefe was of the first students to attend the school in 1922, the year Canetuck opened.
I attended Canetuck School a period between 1938 to 1946, or 1945.
I started school here in 1949 at 5 years of age. I don't know how my mother and father got me in before the age of 6 because I was born in October, which at the time when you enter the school, I think you have to be 6 by August. And my birthday came in October. During that time, we did not have no Head Start, so we started with the first grade.
I began school here in the fall of 1957 as a first grader. I am presently a retired school administrator from the Pender County school system.
Rain or shine, students still had to walk miles to get to school. Education was important, and the students were determined to learn.
During the time, the Mo boys had a lot of cattle, and the children and the cows would be walking down this dirt road all together. And it would be about some 35 to 40 cattle in the road along with the children in the afternoon when we'd be on our way home.
My most difficult moment is having to walk in the cold weather, 4 miles, and I had to walk to school.
As a first grader, I had to walk a half mile, well, it's over a half mile to school and back home.
The longest serving teachers at the Canetuck School were Miss Sadie Williams and Miss Helen Foy Hall. They inspired countless children to learn, either with a soft voice or a stern hand.
My teachers, we had one sweet teacher and one mean teacher. The good teacher was Miss Sadie. She taught the first through the third grade. Miss Helen taught the 4th through 6th grade. We never got a beating from Miss Sadie. All our beatings came from Miss Helen. We didn't get punishment or expelled from school. I was telling him there's a closet over there where she kept a switch and a paddle. If we were late from school, we played around going to come to school, which I did. We always got paddled.
My first grade teacher, a lady named Miss Sadie Williams, she was pretty firm. I remembered we had to read every day and had the old books about life on the farm with Dick and Jean, Sally and Puff. And if you couldn't read, you would get a whooping every day. So that was to encourage you to read. And so I think I can read today as a result of not wanting to get a whooping.
Now, it used to be a blackboard there for the children to write on. And they used to pull this up.
The classes had a blackboard that would raise up and down between the first and the fifth through the seventh. Sadie A. Joseph taught from the first through the fifth. Helen Floyd Hall taught from the fifth through the seventh.
Parents were involved in their children's education.
If you got out of order, you got a good beating from the teachers and from your parents. I think they supported the school to the best of their ability at that time. They didn't have a whole lot to share.
Well, they helped with the financing of us coming to school and the teachers and stuff. Like one teacher didn't have her ways of getting to and from the school. That was Miss Sadie. And sometimes they had a little disagreement, so our parents made sure she was able to get in.
Some students had to drop out of the Canetuck School to work in the fields with their families or take care of siblings.
Well, I had to do a lot of work. My mother and father passed away when we were real young. I had to take care of my baby sister was just 6 months old when my mother died. And my father, he passed away at an early age. We had a big responsibility from an early age. A lot of the white folks in this area, somehow they like my father, and they took care of us and made sure that we got pretty much what we needed. Other than that, I don't think we could have made it.
Pender County Schools integrated in the late 1960s.
As I got older and got involved in athletics, and then I was a part of that generation that integration took place with, start paying more attention to it then. When a lot of other people were having problems in the big cities and with the riots and everything, most of the kids around here, at least we grew up together, we were working on the farms together, so it was an easier transition for us because, I mean, we lived and worked together.
So when, after I moved from New York and got a chance to open this up as a community center, we had this wall torn down.
After working in New York for decades, Lois Keefe returned to the Canetuck community. As a student at the Canetuck School the first year it opened, Lois Keefe's journey was completed when she reopened the Canetuck School as a community center.
I didn't worry about the way that I had to fare to go there because I was just anxious to go and learn. But I look back at it now, and sometimes I can bring tears in my eyes.
This film was made by students in Pender Early College High School, part of the Gates Foundation and NC New Schools Project. For more information, contact www.newschoolsproject.org.
It's a Miss Mickey production.
From the days of segregation to see it in the color, to the day we joined together and got along with each other. The Canetuck School was built in 1921. Give blessing, education was the destination across the nation, but mostly in the South. Rosenwald funded because of Washington's mouth. He was an advocate for black education. The school was open to the black population. Please join us as we see it in color this time today. We're seeing each other 24/7. We're always in.
Pender's history is rich with dreams, or so it seems. Was it destiny, or wanting to get out of misery? They took the journey through time, long before I wrote this rhyme, back to the time of Canetuck School, where they had strict rules. Grades 1 through 7 believed they were in heaven, doing arithmetic, reading, and writing, all in perfect timing. They had to walk with animals, mainly cows, waking up at the break of dawn with so many yawns in class, later rolling in the grass. At the end of the school day, they would be on their way back home all alone.
There was a delegation to the Board of Education, but there was so much segregation, the school had no destination. Then in 1921, Mr. Flynn had begun to sign papers one by one to build a school for the colored union. In the year 1922, they opened up the Canetuck School. To school, colored children walked because getting bus transportation was only talk. We have come to our ending. Colored children were finally attending the Canetuck School.